The 2009 Last House on the Left remake is one of my top 10 favorite horror movies of all time, so absolutely I will do this, but be warned because this one can get pretty brutal. Last House on the Left is about this family, so the mother is Emma, the father is John, and the daughter here is Mary. We learn that Mary is a competitive swimmer and she is damn good at it. And the three of them are driving up to go on vacation at their lake house. So they get into town and Mary goes to visit her friend Paige, who works at the convenience store, and while they're there, they meet this boy named Justin. Justin invites them to come back to his hotel room to smoke weed, and Mary's kind of skeptical, but Paige basically convinces her to go. But while they're there, Justin's family shows up. So that consists of Justin's father, Krug, Krug's brother, Francis, and Krug's girlfriend, Sadie. Mind you, we actually met Krug earlier in this movie when he was being arrested by two police, and then Francis and Sadie crashed into the car to help him escape. So they're all on the run right now. We also watched him brutally murder one of the police officers, so not a great guy. So Krug flips out on Justin and is like, we're on the run, we're on the front page of the newspaper, and you just brought two strangers into our motel room. And now we can't let them go. You can tell Justin realizes that he fucked up and he really does not want to be in the situation. So the crew kidnaps Mary and Paige, but they don't really know where they're going. So Mary tries to direct them to the highway, but actually directs them to the road that goes past her parents' lake house. And we, the audience, see that she kicks in the cigarette lighter. So as they're getting closer to her parents' lake house, she takes the cigarette lighter, burns Sadie, and jumps out of the car to try and make a run for it. But the whole commotion causes Krug to crash into a tree and Mary doesn't make it anywhere. So Sadie and Francis are now injured and also pissed, so they just beat the shit out of Mary and Paige, basically. So now they're in the woods, they have no car, Mary and Paige have been beaten, but it doesn't stop there because now it starts getting a bit more inappropriate. Krug tells Justin, his son, that he needs to be a man and tries to start making him touch Mary. And again, we can obviously see that Justin wants no part in this. Paige gets angry and starts insulting Krug and trying to get him to stop touching Mary, but that just makes Krug and Francis more mad, and they stab her several times and then throw her on the ground as she is left to bleed out as Mary crawls over to cradle her dying best friend. And at this point, Krug is telling Mary, oh, tell her help is on the way, tell her she's going to be fine, and Mary, refusing to lie to her friend, is like, no, I won't do that. Which then infuriates Krug even more, and that leads to the worst scene of the whole movie. And if you know anything about this movie, then you know I'm talking about the SA scene. So Krug proceeds to brutally SA Mary, and as he's doing that, he pulls her necklace off and throws it, and Justin grabs it. That's important. So when he's done, the whole rest of the crew is standing there kind of speechless. They don't know where to proceed from here. Mary stands up and we see that she's holding a rock near her thigh. And she takes it and fucking smashes Krug in the head with it and makes a run for it. And you're watching this and you're like, she's in the middle of the woods. Where is she gonna go? She gets into the lake and she starts fucking swimming. And again, she's a competitive swimmer, so she's fast as fuck and she just takes off. So this girl has just been brutally beaten, SA'd, and just watched her friend get murdered in front of her, and she is swimming for her fucking life. This scene gives me goosebumps. So they're watching this happen and they know they can't catch her. So what does this coward-ass motherfucker do? Takes out his gun and starts shooting at her. And just when you think she's gonna make it, she gets shot in the back. So they're in the middle of the woods. Again, they have no car and now it starts to downpour. So they go to a nearby house. They knock on the door saying, our car broke down, we have nowhere to stay, please help us. And whose house is it? Unbeknownst to them, it's Mary's parents. So none of them know this, but Justin's the only smart one, and he looks at the fridge and sees pictures of Mary, so realizes this is her parents, and he gets so sick because he thinks they just killed her. And again, he's wanted nothing to do with this whole thing. And he purposely leaves Mary's necklace on the kitchen counter for them to find. So John and Emma, the parents, put them up in their guest house, and when they go back to their house, they hear a banging on the porch. And when they go out, what do they find? Mary barely clinging on to life, but she made it. So they take her in, and Mary's father, John, happens to be a doctor, so they're looking at her. At this point, Emma has found the necklace that Justin left and also saw how Justin reacted to Mary's photo on the fridge, so they have deduced now that the family staying in their guest house is the family that did this to their daughter. Again, John's a doctor, so he's inspecting her and realizes that she's been SA'd. So now they're out for fucking blood. Francis comes back to the main house and he's trying to sweet talk Emma, like he thinks he's getting somewhere with it. And she's going along with it. But then he goes into the living room and sees Mary and is like, oh shit. But before he even has time to react, Emma is fucking behind him and knocks his ass out. A fight ensues that includes Francis's hand going into a garbage disposal, and then John kills him. And now John and Emma are like, let's go get the others. So they go into the guest house where Sadie and Krug are asleep, but they find Justin awake with a gun. But instead of hurting them, Justin gives them the gun to use to kill Sadie and Krug. So they go into the bedroom and they're like, wake up, motherfuckers. Sadie wakes up and John shoots her in the neck. But while that happens, it allows Krug time to escape and he goes into the main house. Krug finds Francis, his brother, dead, but no Mary. But now he finally puts together that these are Mary's parents. Meanwhile, back in the guest house, Sadie puts up a good fight. She's shot in the neck, but she's just injured, and she attacks John and Justin, who's now trying to help John and Emma, with a shower rod. But my girl Emma comes in like the boss-ass bitch she is and shoots Sadie in the face and kills her. So now they go back to the main house for Krug. Krug's hiding and is just taunting them by saying the most disgusting things, like, oh, do you want to know how your daughter felt? Like, just sick shit. And then Krug comes out and attacks them all, including his own son, who he stabs. Another fight ensues, but again, a combined effort from these two absolute fucking badasses. They're able to knock him unconscious. So then we see John and Emma with an alive Mary escape via boat to take Mary to the hospital. And they also have Justin to take him to safety as well. Oh, but that's not all. The final scene of this movie is Krug awakening on a table and he's unable to move. And John's at the foot of the table and says, oh yeah, I paralyzed you from the neck down. Because I didn't have any rope, so it's my next best option. John puts Krug's head in a microwave and kills him by exploding his head. John and Emma 5 ever.